Hey guys, Operation Flamestrike has finished, but that is not going to stop me from playing Infinity and posting bat reps on my YouTube channel, of course. Really excited about this one today. It's Imperial Service with my favorite Imperial Service list, which I feel like I've optimized for now, up against my friend Jun, who plays Haqqislam and Ariadna. He's playing Haqqislam for this game. Tough opponent, a very good player, and here is the first photo. We're playing Quadrant Control. Jun has won the Lieutenant role and has decided to go first. So that gives me choice of this table side. And yeah, just setting up second, of course. So Quadrant Control, interestingly enough, it's going to mean that I can actually play a cagey game and hopefully win on scenario just by really balancing out the attrition and just putting as much stuff as I need to into the zones to win. But I believe my opponent's gone first just because that allows him to inflict so much damage and get a huge amount of momentum lead into this game. Next image, you can see the back of my deployment zone. Note that I've got my robots at the back, so Evo Repeater and not Sujian, Rui Shui. The Sujian is deployed way out in the open further up. He was the reserve model, so he's come down here. The point of putting him there is he's going to be able to get the Mutaiwa as soon as it comes around the side from Impetuous. And there's no heavy weapons on that side of the table, so he's feeling comfortable. Plus, if he does get shot at, he's going to be able to pull back, maybe get some dodges off and come back behind the building. Next, it's the Link team. Importantly, the sniper rifle and combi rifle or boarding shotgun at the top, they're prone. So just really getting ready for my active turn where I can stand up with a sniper rifle and get some shots off. And we've got the Guangxi around here just to protect against any troops that come ramboing across this side of the table. Next, this is the left-hand side of my deployment zone. If you look carefully in the left-hand side, you can see a ninja, which is actually on the other side of a crate on a building, but it's prone as well, so can't be seen there. Just really trying to spread out the Guangxi, because I know that he's probably going to send some stuff around the side, in which case I might be able to, prevent it, slow it down with the Guangxi and do some trades. Next, this is his deployment zone. So some of his models are proxies. He's running the 4 Gazi Mutaiwa, as every Haqqislam player seems to, as you should. They're pretty much the best model in the game because of jammers. There's a hacker the top left in the prone status, and some robots hanging around the back, some doctors and things like that. He's got a Janziban with a heavy machine gun on that building and a rocket launcher hiding behind it. So got a little bit of stuff going in the ARO game, and he's got some holo projectors scattered around as well. Next, you can see the other side of his deployment zone. There's a underpainted white miniature at the left-hand side. You can see it there towards the mid-center of the picture. That is going to be representing a Krakon Renegade, and there's HVT represented by a French Ariadna trooper to the left-hand side there as well. And most of these robots are either baggage bots or just sensor bots. Next image, I've drawn out on Microsoft Paint here just the image of the quadrants. So if you have a careful look at this, yeah, it's going to be a pretty interesting game. I only need to sort of, toe into a couple of those zones there with the Sujian. Obviously it can only dominate one zone at a time, but with 59 points that's going to be a really big decisive swinger. And on the other side of my deployment zone, the ninja, who can't be targeted by jammer apparently while it's in a camo marker state, or TO camo marker state, is going to be really useful for adding points to that zone. I think I'll be keeping that ninja there the whole game. Next image, okay, so impetuous movement, moving the Gazi Mutaiwa troopers forward. They're going to be really dangerous. I wanted to deploy at least one person in ARO over there, but it was going to get wiped out by the Janziban no matter what I did, so I just didn't want to, leave any troopers there. Maybe I should have though, even just one combi rifle or something, but yeah, my list isn't too great on AROs. I've chosen to play a very aggressive list, and that has its own advantages. Next, okay, on the other side of the battlefield, Gazi Mutaiwa, this is the only one on this side, moves out, and this is why I've left the Sujian there, shooting it at long range with the Spitfire, just cracking off a couple of hits. He tries to spend an irregular order on it, but the ARO is taking it out, so very fortunate to get rid of that one, because if it did make it to the cover of the building, he might have been able to get a jammer off on the Sujian, and that would have been really painful to start the game that way. Of course, you can see my lovely HVT, the right-hand side of this photo as well. It's her job. Okay, next we've got we've got one of his models. I forget what they're called. Honestly, the Haqqislam names. I don't play as Haqqislam, so I can't remember what they're called. It's the guy with the camo marker. He's been discovered by the Sujian, so he's moving up, and the Canron Fort Observer with 2 camo holo echoes. No, not camo holo echoes. Just holo echoes in general, hanging out inside this building. Next up, he's got another camo marker in the center of the table, just moving it carefully over to a group of boxes. Didn't manage to discover it, but yeah, he managed to get into some total cover here behind the main crate. Next image, it turns out to be a guy carrying a light grenade launcher, and he's now attempting to speculative fire into the area where I've got 2 Celestial Guard members, including the Link Team leader. Luckily for me, he manages to miss with both attempts. He does need less than a 10 to get it off, and I could have dodged after he does land the template down, but luckily I would have preferred him to miss, and that's exactly what happened. Next image, okay, we've got another Gazimatuiwa moving alongside here. Obviously, the ninja doesn't want to do anything because it doesn't want to expose itself to any jammers, but here comes the aggressive predicted play for the Gazimatuiwa. Next, okay, so a bit of a pistol shootout between these two, the Guangxi and the Gazi, just involving some guys going dogged and passing armor saves and various shenanigans. Next, this particular Gazimatuiwa moves past here, hits the flashpole spot with a chain rifle, takes down another Guangxi, and now gets involved with a shootout with these 2 more Guangxi. So this one 10-point model just going on a bit of rampage and clearing through my cheaper troops. But it's very important to keep him back, otherwise if he makes it to the line hiding my Celestial Guard, then he could get to the lieutenant. Next image, he's making a go for it, but unfortunately running out of orders, and I was getting really nervous at this point because had he had one more order here, he would have moved up and actually put the chain rifle down right over top of all 3 of those models. But given that he's having to contest with 2 Guangxi here, one of which is dodging, the other one which is pumping the chain rifle again and again, does manage just to stop this Ghazi in its tracks, and running out of orders was at least one way to prevent this, but that was the outcome. Next, okay, we've got this guy with the grenade launcher deciding to give up his attempts at that and moving across to land a repeater here. I'm not too sure why he was doing that. I guess perhaps worried about the Rui Shui moving over the side of the table, but I didn't really have any infantry ready to do that. He told me later he had a data scan classified, but ended up not actually doing that. So yeah. Next image, okay, so it is finally my turn, and time to mount a bit of a comeback. Guangxi, after the finish there, impetuous, this one gets an order spent on him, moving around here. This guy had placed down a repeater to basically hold off to stop the Sujian from coming up the flank, so the Guangxi moves around, blows up the repeater and the camouflage mine, and hits the Haqqislam model with the chain rifle as well, and I don't believe he managed to kill him though. Next image, Celestial Guard sniper rifle standing up. We had a bit of a dispute, well not a dispute, we had to sort of really look at eye level to determine whether the sniper rifle could be hit not only by the Janzaban with HMG in the opposite building there, but also the guy with the heavy the rocket launcher. Now the rocket launcher is, if you look at the middle of the photo to the mid upper part of the photo, there's a little bit of blob of red sticking out from behind that building. Down at eye level, and I know the camera's not at eye level, the green crate in the center of the table is blocking line of sight. So after we've determined that with sniper rifle versus HMG, the sniper rifle manages to win the shootout. And next photo shows you who this was. It was a Hafsa. Apparently the Janziban was being holo echoed by this model here, who attempted to shoot back but not successful against the 5-man Link Team sniper. Next image, okay, so wasting some orders here, I decided to move the Canron to the door, and then a full second order to open the door, and my opponent's just doing nothing, except placing a mine, which was really dumb, because now, if I move out, the mine will actually hit all 3 models, including the real Canron, so just poor thinking by me, didn't really understand what was going to happen, so a lesson learned for this game. So instead, next photo you can see the Sujian moving up in cat form just to get right behind the line of fire, and the plan is to actually move past and shoot at the mine and the model outside there. Next image, okay, so Sujian in combat form moving over and actually shooting at not only that nearby Haqqislam model, but the the Ghazi Mutaiwa in the background, I believe. After this guy's been taken out, then I could move the Kenren Hollow Echoes out. Now, please correct me if I'm wrong in the video description comments, but if Hollow Echoes move within a mine's area of effect, the mine does go off, so you could use Hollow Echoes to detonate mines. That's my thinking. Anyway, that's how we played it. Next, okay, Sujian moving further forward in cat form, just so that he's not in line of sight of any of the models at the top right here of the photo, but taking some long shots against the Ghazi Mutaiwa in the long distance. I think managing to kill one of them, but not both, with the very long range Spitfire shooting. Next, okay, so at this point, this is where we go into business mode. So combat form, moving past the line of sight range and shooting at that red model at the top of the photo with the rocket launcher, gunning him down with the Spitfire. So that is one kill in the enemy deployment zone notched up. Next image, with that having been resolved, the Ruishui can now move out without being shot long range, and using a Spitfire to target some of those Ghazi Mutaiwa. You've got to get rid of them. I just really wanted to remove them all, otherwise life was going to get really, really hard. Next image, he moves further forward over and kills this other Haqqislam model here, and wipes out the repeater as well, just ending its turn in the center of the table here. But importantly, the model is also within that quadrant so that it can pick it up. Next image, just looking at an overview. I didn't really show you any further photos of what the Sujian did, but the Sujian ran into a guy that fired a marker repeater next to him. Just kept on shooting anyway, managed to kill, I think, a hacker, and that was about it. Didn't manage to pass him any of my shots against the Krakot Renegade, but got hacked and got wounded, so Sujian just couldn't have any more orders spent on him, despite me putting fairy dust up. So that's how it played out. This is the end of game round 1 though, and I've got both of the quadrants on my side of the table captured, but because the Sujian is in his quadrant, and the Sujian is, so hefty in terms of points, even against a guy with baggage, he's actually more expensive, and I managed to go 3 points to nil after 1 game round. So that's really important. It means that if I can actually keep the next 2 game rounds to a draw, or concede just one of them but draw the other one but get a classified, that means that I can win. Next image, okay, Haqqislam turn 2, moving the doctor over to see if it can revive the guy with the rocket launcher, and successfully does so. That allows him to shoot at the Sujian. Actually, because I moved the Sujian a little bit further forward, it means that he doesn't have line of sight to the Sujian, so there it is. Next image, okay, so what he does is he moves a Nufatun round to shoot his rifle at the Sujian, but rolling a crit with the Spitfire and killing him instantly, so picked up a little bit of good luck there. I was really happy about that. Next image, okay, so what he decides to resort to doing is moving the Krakot Renegade. By the way, with Metachemistry level 2, he's actually rolled up the extra speed. So exchanging shots here, 2 chain rifles against a light flamethrower. Now, although I was lucky against the Nufatun, wasn't lucky here. I failed both armor saves and he passed his armor saves, so not the best trade, of course, but I'm still happy. I've still been rolling pretty well this game, so I'll take a little bit of bad luck because that's fair. Next image, okay, we've got a guy with Hollow Echo level 2, and he's moving out behind a corner. The sniper rifle shoots back at him, but I put 1 into the blue token and 1 into the real token, although I should have really just shot them both at the guy who's in cover because it's a bit of a giveaway. Next image, he's shot and won that one, but it turns out to be this guy here, represented by the Janissary. I think it's one of the new models that got released for HSN3. I can't remember the name of it, but he's pretty awesome kind of guy. He's moved forward and he's wiped out the Ruishui and the Guangxi as well, so moving across the table. Next image, he finally gets into range of the guy with the boarding shotgun. Also taking a hit from the Guangxi as well while he does this, and boarding shotgun actually manages to win the face-to-face roll and kill him, so got away with a little bit of good luck there, winning that little shootout. Next image, okay, we've got another Janziman moving further forward into the building, just trying to get a bit of a horizontal view of the battlefield, and at the right hand side of the table you can see the rocket launcher moving up, and Nufatun to the left, so coordinated order here, guys. Next image. Okay, so starting my turn 2 by firing a smoke grenade template further out into the building. Very important because the plan is to get the Kenren Vault Observer moving out, but not being shot by 3 guys at once. So next, you can see the Canren Fort Observer has moved into safety of the cloud. There is a Janzaban with MSV2 to the left-hand side, to the top left in the building, but there is a particular line of sight shadow which I can advance through because there's a door and then a wall and then a window, so I'm just going through the shadow of that wall. When it works out to be okay. Also moving the link team, breaking it up into a smaller link team of 3. The boarding shotgun to the top right is not involved in this. Just to come around the other side of the building and engage against the heavy rocket launcher with my lieutenant, and with a combi rifle burst 4 against the single heavy rocket launcher, hoping to win the firefight, and that's what ends up happening. So next image, Canren moving out of the cloud. As you can see to the top left of the photo, there's a Janziban, but there's no line of sight between the two of them because of that wall and the boxes. So using Fort Observer to actually hit the guy to the left-hand side of the table, picking up the telemetry classified, taking the scenario to 4 points to 0 at this stage. Next image. Okay, so this is a bit of a blurry photo. The Canren is just trying to hang out at a point where he can actually take the third quadrant as well, but when we realized with the baggage bot, the Minesweeper bot with baggage going down there, it turned out that he had more points in the zone than I did. So end of game round 2, we both get a point, so I go up to 5 points, he goes up to 1 point, meaning that he can draw by getting the quadrant win and a classified, or if he gets both classifieds, he'll win the game. Next image. Okay, so it's his final turn, moving out with the Krakop, moving out with the Janziban, killing the Canren. Another image here. He's got a hacker moving through, trying to get his data hack off on the enemy HVT, but he's very low on orders at this stage. Next image. Okay, another Janziban moving along through the battlefield, trying to get into position to control the right quadrants, but it's a little bit too late. And if you go into the next photo, and this is my last turn, the ninja, although it's prone, coming out of TO Camo State to try and get the data scan of my own off, I am a loss of lieutenant at this point because he shot through the Celestial Guards with a Janziban. But I used a last command token to free up 1 order to spend on the ninja along with its own regular order. So 2 attempts at the data scan, failing them both, so still stuck at 5 points, otherwise I could easily have been at 6. And in the next photo, a boarding shotgun moving over to blow up the Janziban. So there you have it, that's the end of the game. I've got just one photo left, really, bit of an overview. So he managed to actually have more quadrants than me at the end of the game, if I recall correctly, and that puts him to 4 points, whereas I'm still on 5. So yeah, really interesting result for the end of the game there. It was a tight game. I had a little bit of good luck earlier on, then I had a little bit of bad luck, and then we both made a couple of mistakes, but both learned a bit, and both of these armies are pretty strong. John's a really good player, so that's why I really like bringing out my strongest list against him, just to see if I can manage it. And today I managed it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the bat rep, guys. See you again next time.